we are finally on what will hopefully be the last pass of swirl filler on this quilt. You can see in the background here what we've already done. You can see it up there, over there. And the way that I'm quilting this one is I'm going through and doing all these background sections first. And then I'm going to come back and sort of do the background within the blocks. And then I think I'm going to use some hot pink thread on these darker sections just to make it really pop. You can see where I was trying out some hot pink line work to see what it might look like. I think it's a little too stark on the white, so I decided to do it anywhere there's black or dark gray fabric, but that is disappearing ink, so no need to worry about that. But we are going to do the swirl filler, and I'll walk you through in this first square that I'm going to do how it looks, how it's formed, the basics, and then you can enjoy as I work my way through the last pass of this quilt. I have used 2 layers of batting here just for some added loft because I really wanted the quilting on this one to show. This is an 80/20 from Joann fabric called Toasty Cotton. It's my go-to. So to start out, I mark off my boundary, and I have included a 1/4 inch gusset right here along the pieces that I want to sort of feature. And you can sort of see how that causes them to puff up. I chose not to worry about doing this 1/4 inch gusset along where the binding in theory will be, because in order to be able to trim it straight, I didn't want to have to worry about that. What if my binding goes over a little bit? I thought it would be easier, at least on this one, just to only mark out the actual piecing. So the way that I'm going to start out is I'm going to do just a small curly Q about the size of a 1/4. I like to have a visual sometimes. I'll even place this 1/4 up here just so I can look at it as I'm quilting and remind myself that's what I'm looking for. I think I'm going to have this one come down and up. It doesn't matter which way you make your first spiral, because in the end you're going to have them going both directions, all directions, up, down, left, right, diagonal. You want to mix it up. So we're just going to start. I could echo this to get my way back out, but what I've chosen to do is stitch on top of, or as close as I can, to that initial stitching line. So you can see I wasn't perfect right there. I'm not worried about it. I was pretty dang good here, but I just stitched my way back to that starting point. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make one echo all the way around. And I'm using my foot here as a guide to get about 1/4 inch between these 2 lines. It usually ends up being more like 3/8 of an inch. I'm not overly concerned. I'm going to travel down just a little bit, and then I'm going to come back the other way. And one more time just to round it out. Now, I did get a little square here. I'm not worried about it, because when I filled the entire space in like I have up here, you're not going to notice. So to do my next one, I actually think I'm going to travel up and over, because I want my next one to come out from here. That way I can work my way down and fill in the space. So again, I'm going to start with a curly Q about the size of a 1/4. I'm going to come right back out along that line. And then I'm going to echo the entire piece a few times. I'm going to squeak in here. I am going to come down and just throw in one more echo here. And then I'm going to work my way out, and I'm going to add another curly Q. Back out. And what you can see I did on that one is as I came back out, I continued that spiral all the way until I ran into my previous. Now I'm just gonna I'm gonna travel, and then I'm gonna echo around, hopping back and forth a few times. There's no rule about how many times you need to come back and forth, you need to echo. It's just what you feel. So I'm just gonna fill in. I'm gonna do another swirl. I'll probably do another one down here and another one over here. So I'm gonna work on filling in the space. Now you can see that whole section's filled in, and I think it looks great. So I'm going to go ahead and work on my 1/4 inch gusset on this one to frame out where I'm going to quilt, and then I'm going to get quilting and fill this space in as well.